They flooded my yard to build their fancy tennis court, so I made them tear the whole thing out, legally. I live on 2 acres at the edge of Maple Hollow Estates, one of those upscale HOAs with matching mailboxes and people who measure property values by bragging rights. My house sits lower than the main road, a gray ranch built by my father in the 70s, with a wide porch and a creek that runs behind the fence. Usually, the air there smells like pine and wet soil after rain. But one morning last spring, that smell was replaced by something else, raw mud and fertilizer. I stepped outside, coffee in hand, and saw water pooling across my lawn, ankle deep, glimmering under the sun. My vegetable beds were drowning. The trickle running off the slope came from behind the new vinyl fence the HOA president, Leonard Brooks, had installed 2 weeks earlier. I followed it uphill, squelching through mud, and found the source, a thick black irrigation hose snaking from the construction site of the brand-new tennis court they were rushing to finish before summer. They'd rerouted their drainage straight into my property. I found the permit notice stapled to a post, signed by Leonard himself. It was supposed to discharge into the storm system, not my lawn. When I confronted him at the clubhouse, he smiled like a salesman. "It's just temporary runoff," he said, adjusting his silver tie clip. "You'll get some free watering out of it." "Free flooding, you mean?" I said. He waved a dismissive hand. "Don't get emotional about it." I didn't. Instead, I got precise. I called the county's Environmental Water Resources Office, asked for the stormwater compliance section, and learned something interesting. Any redirection of surface runoff requires an engineer's stamped plan. Leonard's permit covered a basic repair, not a full drainage system. The tennis court's slope violated Section 18.4 of the county's erosion control ordinance. I spent 3 evenings collecting photos, standing water, dead plants, soil lines on my shed. I even used a measuring stick to show the depth. When the inspector arrived, clipboard, yellow vest, camera, I guided him through the mess. "They told me it was temporary," I said. He squatted, took a photo of the hose, and muttered, "That's not temporary. That's illegal." 3 days later, the county issued a stop work order. The bright orange notice flapped on their fence like a warning flag. Leonard called me, furious. "Do you have any idea what you've done?" "I followed the law," I said. "You should try it sometime." By July, the HOA had paid $38,000 in fines and was forced to remove the entire drainage trench and resurface the court. Leonard resigned at the next board meeting, red-faced and silent. The creek behind my yard runs clear again, and my garden's thriving. I sit on my porch some evenings, listening to the sound of frogs instead of construction. I consider revenge taken.